Hello, and welcome to the EVEEchoChamber. Today, we get to witness one of the most beautiful miracles of nature, the birth of a Navy cruiser. Let's get started. First thing we have to do is make it to tech level 6. We cannot reverse engineer or build the cruiser until we are at tech level 6. The next step is to reverse engineer our blueprint, but before I do that, I go to my skill queue, because the second skill in my queue is a skill that will make it easier for me to reverse engineer a blueprint. And this is a good time to use some of our banked SP to expedite that skill. You might have noticed by now that most content creators never spend their banked SP. This is because we're waiting for a time where it will be an immediate benefit, where we really get something out of it right now. For example, some people might be waiting for the tier for battleships to be unlocked, and as soon as they unlock that tier, they'll dump all of the SP into the skills for manufacturing or flying the battleships. Remember to use that green slider to increase your chances of success. And now the moment of truth. Success. And success. Sweet. If it failed, it would not show the screen at all. And now, the next step is to build from that blueprint. I'm excited. Are you excited? I love this ship and I can't wait. Yeah. Looks like we're gonna have to go mine. And so it came to pass that he did go mine, and in so doing, he learned that the greatest rewards are those you work for yourself. It's happening. And now that we've begun, let's review the price of progress. I did my mining in Providence, and Adventure 2 came to my belt and was completely AFK. He just sat there as 2 drones slowly killed him. Then my Venture 3 was jumped by a caracal and a stealth bomber, as I wasn't paying attention because I was changing the movie on my laptop that I was watching in the background. Learn from my mistake. Remain vigilant when you are in low sec or null sec. And now, the moment that we have all been waiting for. Bear witness to the miracle of life. I can see its head. It's coming. Here, it's so beautiful. This was such a good feeling, because almost all of my skill training has been going towards the Vexor Navy issue, and it feels so rewarding to get that ship, and to know that I can use it for the foreseeable future. I could use it for a long time. This is a lot like how I felt on my Alpha account when I got the Executioner 2, because I knew as an Alpha that ship was going to be my main ship for a very long time. And this is the same way for an Omega, though as an Omega, you could choose to go in different directions, but I just chose that I wanted a Vexor Navy issue. And just like in my Trainer Vexor video, I'm kind of just throwing together a crappy fit right now. I don't have everything that I wanted. And at this point, I still didn't want to buy the equipment. I could afford it. I have 40 million ISK or something like that. I could buy all of the mods that I needed, but I still wanted to see at this point whether I could farm them or not. For the high slots, you can use any weapon system, because this ship does not have any bonuses to any particular weapon system for high slots. It only gets bonuses to the drones, which are mid slots. I suppose I would recommend missiles, because they're the best right now, and because they have pretty low fitting requirements. Another benefit of going for medium missiles is that you are preparing yourself for a stealth bomber, because stealth bombers also use medium missiles. Another intriguing option would be to go with medium decomposers, because if you are an Omega count, like this guide is for, then you will soon have access to the Yanjung battlecruiser, the Conway, and that uses medium decomposers, so if you plan on using that ship, you would want skills in medium decomposers anyways. But for this particular ship, any weapon is fine. If you know what you want to train for later on, then choose that weapon system. And again, just like I did for the Trainer Vexor, I'm going to run an encounter real quick to see what the ship can do. I refreshed it there because I was looking for an encounter that did not have a check mark next to it, and I found one after refreshing. The check marks are shown next to encounters that you have already completed, and they are only shown for the ones that apply towards story encounters.
Warp drive active.
Here I am doing the typical UI rearranging and some other things that you should do every time you get into a new ship. See, I'm grouping up my weapons and moving things around where I'm used to having them. Then I check the range of my weapons by long tapping on them. You have to do some math for missiles. You need to multiply flight speed by flight time. And then the railgun just shows you right there. So the railgun is my shortest ranged weapon, so I also set my orbit to something that'll work for the railgun. Now I made a mistake here too, because I've been carefully training the skills to try and not waste any SP. I have not trained my drones skill high enough to use all 5 drones. I can only use 4. And because there was one in a group of 3 that I tried to launch after launching the group of 2, it will actually prevent me from launching any more drones, and I have to clear the group first. Speaking of carefully training my skills, I now show you the skills that are relevant to the Vexor Navy issue. That skill at the bottom, Drone, needs to be at level 4 before you can use all 5 drones at the same time. Remember that if you think it's going to be a difficult mission, or you think that your ship is not fit as well as it should be, then you should not be clicking confirm here, because that will warp in at 0. And I told you in my Vexor Trainer video, never to warp in at 0.
Warp drive active.
And while I did not get every module I wanted when I was running encounters in the Trainer Vexor, I did get the armor repair, and that makes me happy, because now I won't have to warp off. Or I don't think I'll have to warp off. Let's find out. Now you remember from the Trainer Vexor video that I went into my settings and I disabled auto orbit. So now I am doing something I talked about in a very old video called anchoring. I'm orbiting the ship that I plan to attack last, so I will continue orbiting them as I put my weapons on the other targets. And this is where I realize I need to train the drone skill, and so I put that in skill queue. I still strongly recommend you use a prop mod, either an afterburner or a micro warp drive. In all of that time using my Trainer Vexor, I never got a medium afterburner or micro warp drive to drop. So I'm sure after this video, I will buy whatever modules I'm missing. Vexor Navy Issue is kind of a unique ship in that it can do either shield tanking or armor tanking. Even in EVE Online, people do either one. If you look at its shield and armor resistances, the armor resistances are slightly better, and there's slightly more armor than shields. But still, either one can work. And with that enemy defeated, we have finished the encounter. Thank you for watching. This has been the EVEEchoChamber. Fly safe.